You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather has once again stirred the boxing world, calling out Terence Crawford immediately after Canelo Alvarez's latest fight. Known for his unmatched confidence and flawless record, Mayweather didn't hold back, signaling that he's ready to step back into the ring for another high-stakes showdown. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing over the prospect of Mayweather facing Crawford, widely regarded as one of the sport's most formidable pound-for-pound fighters, adding a new layer of excitement and speculation to boxing's ever-evolving landscape. The tension is palpable.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear, and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes, never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence "Bud" Crawford defended his unbeaten record by defeating Canelo Alvarez via unanimous decision, becoming the undisputed super middleweight champion. The bout took place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13, 2025, and was one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the year. Crawford moved up 2 weight classes for this fight and entered the ring with tremendous confidence. Despite Canelo being naturally bigger and known for his power, Crawford controlled the tempo and used sharp boxing, footwork, and combinations to neutralize that advantage.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I loved the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record as saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, but he's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Right.
You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans, and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was, Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
For this fight, Mayweather Jr. placed his bet on Terence Crawford because he believed in his skills and trusted him to win against Canelo Alvarez. Despite Crawford being considered the underdog, Mayweather placed a $50,000 bet on him to win via moneyline at plus 148 odds. When Crawford secured a unanimous decision victory, Mayweather's wager paid off handsomely, netting him $124,000. Mayweather's bet not only showcased his confidence in Crawford's abilities, but also highlighted his deep understanding of boxing dynamics.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Mayweather has also made it clear where he stands in the pound-for-pound debate, declaring Terence Crawford as the #1 fighter in the world today. Following Crawford's masterful performance against Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather praised his skill set, discipline, and ability to dominate across multiple weight divisions. For Mayweather, being pound for pound isn't only about winning titles, but about consistently proving superiority over the best opponents, and he believes Crawford has done exactly that. By defeating elite champions and remaining undefeated, Crawford has cemented himself as the man to beat in modern boxing.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1.
Crawford has also admired Mayweather's approach to boxing, not just his skills in the ring, but the way he managed his career and legacy. Over time, this admiration turned into a real connection between the two. Crawford has often received small tips and advice from Mayweather, which he takes seriously. He doesn't just hear the advice, he applies it. Their relationship reflects a deeper bond based on ambition, legacy, and a shared understanding of what it takes to become truly great in the sport.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever... Keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. I always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Recently, Canelo made a candid admission during a press conference saying, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." This statement was particularly striking given that Alvarez had previously suffered his first career defeat to Mayweather in 2013 when he was only 23 years old and unbeaten. Crawford's performance was nothing short of masterful, showcasing superior hand speed, footwork, and tactical precision to outbox Alvarez over 12 rounds. Despite stepping up 2 weight divisions, Crawford effectively neutralized Alvarez's power with a strategic, defensive approach and accurate counterattacks.
It's with Fight Hub TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
it's my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because, imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Following Canelo Alvarez's assertion that Crawford is way better than Floyd, Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, responded critically. He suggested that Canelo's statement was a strategic move to elevate Crawford's status, thereby making Canelo's own loss appear more respectable. Jeff emphasized that Canelo's defeat to Mayweather occurred when Canelo was in his prime, challenging the notion that Mayweather was past his prime. He also contested the comparison of defensive skills, asserting that while Crawford is highly skilled, Mayweather's defensive prowess remains superior.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
to a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want
to make himself look like he did something great.
Trainer Greg Hackett has weighed in on the ongoing debate between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, asserting that Mayweather remains the superior fighter. Despite Crawford's impressive victory over Canelo Alvarez, Hackett contends that Mayweather's defensive prowess and ring intelligence set him apart. He acknowledges Crawford's skill, but emphasizes that Mayweather's legacy, built on an undefeated record and dominance across multiple weight classes, places him above Crawford in the all-time rankings. Hackett's perspective highlights the ongoing discussion in the boxing community regarding the greatest of this era.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter, Jay?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great to me.
Eddie Hearn has publicly dismissed Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is superior to Floyd Mayweather Jr. He argued that Crawford's resume doesn't measure up to Mayweather's, pointing out that many of Crawford's opponents were past their prime at the time he fought them. Hearn emphasized that while Crawford has notable wins like the recent one over Canelo, he lacks the breadth of elite victories against top-tier opposition across weight divisions that Mayweather accumulated throughout his career.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault, his resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now, Ricky Burns is a great fighter. It's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Kermel Moton recently reiterated that Floyd Mayweather will always be the GOAT, even in light of the recent buzz around Terence Crawford's dominance. Moton made it clear that for him, Mayweather's immaculate record, ring IQ, defensive genius, and consistent supremacy across weight classes set a benchmark few can match. While he praised Crawford's performances, especially his win over Canelo, Moton emphasized that greatness isn't just about one fight or moment. It's about longevity, unblemished excellence, and often making history by being undefeated at the top. Moton believes that while Crawford is elite, Mayweather's legacy still lives in a different tier.
Where do you sit with this? Because two pound-for-pound greats of this era, Canelo, we see the resume, Crawford, two-time undisputed, potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford like a little bigger.
Taller, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So, really just we're going to see tomorrow, how it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and, both guys coming ready, so we're just going to have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is the greatest, but does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonard's, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Meanwhile, Crawford addressed the frequent comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr., emphasizing that each fighter should be recognized within the context of their own era. Crawford asserted that he is the greatest of his time, just as Mayweather was in his, and that drawing direct comparisons between the two is unnecessary. This perspective reflects Crawford's confidence in his achievements and his desire to carve out his own legacy in the sport, one distinct from that of past legends. After Terence Crawford's historic victory over Canelo Alvarez, his longtime trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre made it clear that there would be no rush into another fight. Bomac emphasized that Crawford has just achieved one of the biggest wins of his career and deserves time to rest rather than jump straight back into camp. He explained that after such a demanding preparation and grueling 12 rounds, recovery should be the priority. Instead of entertaining immediate talk about future opponents, Bomac suggested Crawford take a well-earned vacation to recharge physically and mentally. According to him, rest is crucial at this stage, allowing Crawford to enjoy his achievement before considering what comes next in his legendary career.
You know what? We're going to get back in the gym. And we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for like probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is the thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. Everybody.
Bernie Thigh Boxer, a close ally of Terence Crawford, has fired off a sharp critique following the Canelo fight, insisting that they tried to rob us. He feels the scoring failed to truly reflect Crawford's dominance throughout the bout, arguing that many rounds were unfairly given or judged too close. According to him, Crawford controlled the action, dictating pace, showcasing superior boxing fundamentals, and clearly outworking Canelo. But the judges' cards didn't reward those aspects sufficiently. Bernie believes that despite the unanimous decision win, the margins on the scorecards lacked justice. His outburst highlights how controversial judging continues to stir emotions in boxing, even when victories seem decisive.
This is the second time you destroy every myth. Can he take a punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything, didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
Was in the pocket.
grabbed him
Was in the pocket.
turned him, did everything. Talking about he too strong, turned him a couple times, pushed him. Crawford the best, man.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather has a unique perspective on this matchup, having faced and defeated Canelo Alvarez back in 2013, when Canelo was still undefeated and rising fast. That victory remains one of the highlights of Mayweather's legendary career, showcasing his defensive brilliance and ring IQ. Now, years later, Mayweather is turning his attention to Terence Crawford, the man who just dominantly conquered Canelo. By calling out Crawford, Mayweather is not only reigniting excitement in the boxing world, but also reminding fans that he still sees himself as capable of sharing the ring with the very best.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young. Yeah. And he was like, that was when he was
No, he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you're only 23?
23.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, you know, beat him. If you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23. So imagine that. But, you know, he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter. So, but I learned.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford could set the stage for one of the biggest fights in history? Or should Money stay retired and let Crawford carry the torch? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.